This is Puerto Rican Panorama, a program that explores the challenging issues, cultural diversity, and multinational heritage of the Delaware Valley Latino community. And now, here's your host, Diego Castellanos.
Hello there. Today we want to talk a little bit about the Big Brothers, Big Sisters program. And today we're specifically talking with folks from Bucks County. But the things we're going to tell you about the program, of course, apply to anywhere. My guests today are Janice Solkov, seated next to me. She's a bilingual case manager of the Hispanic Initiative. Next to her is Amanda Walsh. She's a member of the Hispanic Advisory Council of the Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Bucks County. Next is a big brother. His name is Hector Torrens. And next to big brother is little brother Carlos. And Carlos, how old are you?
I'm 13.
13. Okay. Where are you originally from?
Mexico.
From Mexico? Okay. I'm asking you that because I have a son named Carlos. And, you know, Carlos is a very common name in Spanish, as you all might know. But, you know, every time I see a little boy by the name of Carlos, I want to find out more about them. But tell me about Big Brothers, Big Sisters. I think a lot of people have some idea of what this is about, but tell us the actual story of it.
Big Brothers, Big Sisters is a national organization, and we have an agency in Bucks County. And our job there is to find big brothers and big sisters to be matched up in a one-on-one relationship with little brothers and little sisters. The idea is to take these children who might be facing some type of adversity and bring a mentor into their life. So hopefully they will be able to grow into adulthood and become more responsible and productive adults. This relationship that they have with their big brother or big sister could last anywhere from 1 year into multiple years based on the relationship that they have. We look for a commitment of at least a year where they will get together 2 to 4 times a month. And those visits can include lots of pleasurable activities such as going to a library, making crafts together, baking, taking a walk, a bike ride, going fishing. Could be any number of activities based on what the interests are of the big sister and the little sister, or the big brother and the little brother. So we look for things that they have in common so that they could share time together. And a considerable amount of time they spend has to do with talking and being supportive and trying to figure out ways to deal with the problems and concerns that they have in their lives. So it's always good to have some caring adult, and that's what our mentoring program tries to do.
So it needs to be little brothers and sisters with an adversity type of problem in their lives?
The children that are referred to us are referred by a third-party professional. So that means the person could be a teacher, a social worker, a medical health professional, school guidance counselor. We get our referrals for the children through one of those third-party professionals, and then we interview the family. We have what we call the parent and child interview. In my situation with the Hispanic Initiative, I go to the home and I speak to the child, I speak to the parents, and find out more about them so that we could make an effective match.
Would it be like orphan kids, or can these be kids who have parents?
We interview children with a full range of need. They could have one parent, they could have 2 parents, they could be taken care of by a guardian. So the continuum of need ranges from something simple such as lack of self-confidence or needing opportunities to have new experiences and be introduced to lots of new interests, for example, or new experiences in finding out what's available in the area, to other children that actually have serious needs. Perhaps they've witnessed domestic violence. Perhaps their parents are involved with drug addiction. So we will respond to the needs of the children based on the referrals that we receive, and we try to match them up with the appropriate volunteer, the appropriate big brother or big sister who would be able to handle that situation.
You only deal with kids that are referred to you?
Right.
I mean, you're not actually seeking volunteers to volunteer little brothers and sisters who are simply looking for a mentor?
Correct. Like I said, it's through a third-party professional, and so the schools are welcome to submit referrals to us. We sometimes would get our referrals through children and youth through the legal system.
What ages are these children?
We match up children anywhere between the age of 6 and 14, and many of our children are from all different parts of Bucks County. We have them from Lower Bucks, Middle Bucks, Upper Bucks, and we welcome any of those agencies to submit referrals to us.
Do you ever match a big brother with a little sister, or vice versa, a big sister with a little brother?
We are interested in trying to make it a same gender match. However, in certain situations, we do match a big sister with a little brother if the little brother is young, maybe around 6, 7, or 8 years old. And that is because we have so many more big sisters than we do big brothers. And we're always looking for more big brothers to come forward so that we could make that same gender match.
What are the requirements to be a big brother? And anyone can jump in. I'm not directing, I'm not having a private conversation with her, but you know, whoever wants to contribute to it.
Well, I can explain the process, and then maybe Hector can talk about the experience that he had.
We don't need a system. I'm just, they're sitting there so quietly. They're actually listening to you, and you know, and actually learning from you. I'm kidding, but go ahead.
We do a very thorough screening of our volunteers because the safety of the little brothers and little sisters is very, very important. So we make sure that the volunteer that we match the little with is going to be a safe and responsible adult. So in addition to a 90-minute interview, we also check 3 references, and we do 5 clearances that include the FBI fingerprinting clearance, child abuse, criminal, a county clearance, and a 10-year driving history. And so we make sure that that person is a very responsible
I'm glad
adult.
to hear that, because that would be a concern to a lot of people, you know, especially in these days when you, if you're watching the news and you see that there are problems out there, serious problems, you know, problems with the church, problems with universities and with sports and, you know, whatever. And it is a very serious concern. So you know, I'm glad that you are so thorough.
Very thorough.
With the, you know.
The other thing that I can say about the interview, Diego, is that during that 90-minute interview, they spend quite a bit of time trying to understand the big brother, right, and where he or the big sister, where they're coming from. So what kind of a match would be something that would be most beneficial for both parties? They really spend some time to get to know you, what you're looking for, what situation you might be best suited for. So it's a long process and pretty involved, as Jen mentioned, but I think it's also mutually beneficial.
As a big brother, how do you decide what to do with this little kid? Do they give you kind of a list of suggestions, or do you come up with, you know, the activities that you're going to engage in?
Both. We do get a list of suggestions, and Big Brothers Big Sisters often hosts quite a few events. So there's no shortage of things for us to go to, whether it's you know, a formally hosted event either at a bowling alley or something like that. We have arcades we'll go to. There's also some other Big Brothers will host parties at their house. So we had a pool party, for example, this summer that we went to. So we have oftentimes options to choose from, but most of the time we'll just get together and hang out.
Now, John just said that little kids cannot volunteer to be little brothers and sisters, but now in the case of the big brother or big sister, you do look for volunteers there, right?
In terms of the age of the volunteer?
No, for adults to volunteer to serve as a big brother or
we're
sister.
always looking for
Yes.
big
Okay.
volunteers, yes.
Need more of them, yes.
Always,
Okay.
yeah.
So the big brothers and sisters are not referred, they're actually kind of offering their time and services. We need to take a break, but when we come back, hopefully we'll hear from Amanda and from Carlos. So don't go away, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Talking today about the Big Brothers, Big Sisters program, and is that based on any type of logic? I mean, does it really make that much of a difference to a child to have a mentor or a friend or a pretend dad or whatever? Is that valuable?
Well, I just have a few statistics here about a study that was done in the Philadelphia area, and they found out that if you had a big brother or a big sister, 40% of those children were less likely to begin using illegal drugs. 27% were less likely to begin using alcohol. 53% were less likely to skip school. And 37% were less likely to skip a class. So there are lots of positive benefits socially and academically for those children that are involved and have a big brother or a big sister.
Is there ever a case where children who do have real big brothers or have dads would be referred to you for your program because maybe whatever they have is not adequate to their needs at this point for whatever reason?
Many of our little brothers and little sisters do have intact family members. And as I said before, there's a continuum of need as to why they're being referred to us. They're going to get a volunteer who's going to be a big brother or a big sister who is a mentor to them. They do not replace anyone in the family. It's not like Hector is Carlos's dad or uncle or cousin. He's actually an addition to the family. He is a mentor. He is a friend. He's someone who's going to provide constant, ongoing support. And if you think about it, all of us could use somebody like that in our lives where we're going to have somebody who's particularly interested in our success on an ongoing basis.
Yeah. Carlos, what do you do when you meet with your big brother?
We usually say hello, and we start by going what happened like during the week or weekend or what's new in our lives.
How do you come up with ideas?
We usually ask is there like anything new you want to do, or is there something you want to talk about or need help in? And yeah, we go on from there.
Now, do you have any children of your own?
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I have a 3-year-old girl and a 1-year-old boy.
Okay. Do you ever get them all together? You know,
I do.
Get them
I
together
do.
with Carlos?
I do, yeah. We try to spend enough one-on-one time together, but...
So it kind of becomes part of your family in a sense.
Absolutely. Yeah, my daughter Lily asks for Carlos all the time, and her brothers. Yeah, so he'll come over to the home, and we'll hang out there together. We'll have lunch together. He'll play with, and he's wonderful with my kids. So absolutely part of the family.
Just out of curiosity, where are your roots, ethnic roots?
Mine? Well, I was born in Philadelphia, but my father's Puerto Rican and my mother's Cuban.
Okay. Yeah. And Carlos, you are Mexican.
Yeah,
Right. How long have you been here?
for like 6 years. 6 years.
Okay. Okay. Because it's funny how people can pick up English, and when they're that age. When they're older, it becomes a little bit more different.
I want to say that we do make an effort to find big brothers and big sisters that are Hispanic, so that we can have the littles looking at volunteers, looking at mentors with whom they can relate. However, we are more than willing to accept all volunteers of any ethnic background, because we feel that a mentor of any background is still going to be of value to our little brothers and little sisters.
Now, Amanda, you're a member of the Hispanic Advisory Council in Bucks County.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're a group of volunteers from all walks of life, all generations in Bucks County, and we are there to support the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters, and especially the Hispanic initiative. You know, like Jan said, getting Hispanic Big Brothers Big Sisters, and pairing them up with littles that have the Latino heritage. So,
now, what is your interest in Hispanic issues, Hispanic affairs? Are you Hispanic?
no, I'm not.
Oh.
Walsh is
Okay.
not a very Hispanic last name, but
Well, I thought maybe it could be your married name.
no. Actually, after I graduated, I had a scholarship to teach English in Spain for 2 years, and I improved my Spanish, and I wanted to keep up with it when I came back to Bucks County. And Jan and I met through a social group, like a book club that meets every month, and we read Spanish books, Latino books, and we speak in Spanish, and we get together, and that's how we met. And so I have an affinity with the Latino culture.
John, what about your Hispanic connections?
And my Hispanic connection is because I actually learned Spanish as a foreign language starting in secondary school. And that was when I attended Cheltenham School District. I started in 7th grade, and I fell in love with the language, fell in love with the culture, continued on and majored in that at Penn State. And then as an English as a second language bilingual education teacher, I worked with the Puerto Rican community in Warminster, and have continued to have connections all across the Delaware Valley region with Hispanic friends and social clubs where we talk about things in Spanish.
Let's give the viewers some contact information. There's a website, you have a website, and anyone who would like additional information can email you.
Yes. My email address is...
Well, give the, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the email address is Janice at bbbsbc.org, or they can go to the website, which is www.bbbs/Bucks County.
Okay.
Remember that.
Yeah. How are you funded?
Okay, the Hispanic Initiative is funded through a particular grant that is a 2-year grant, and we're in the second year of that grant right now. One of the functions of the Hispanic Initiative is going to look at long-term sustainability, how we can sustain the Hispanic Initiative, in particular as part of Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Bucks County. But actually, people should know that Big Brothers Big Sisters is totally funded through donations and grants. And we're very proud that 77 cents of every dollar goes toward the mission of making sure that we have our children matched up with adults that can help to sustain them and encourage them to be productive adults as they grow older. So our funding stream is through donations and other kinds of contributions and grants.
We're gonna take a short break. We'll be back to you in just a couple minutes. So hang in there.